Alright, it's time for a new HOI4 OWB Blues playthrough, and this time I'll be playing as New Vegas, but with a little bit of a spicy twist because I'm going to be using the Courier 6 Redux submod, which adds something nice and extra to New Vegas. So there we go, select country, average Joe, not changing any rules, and let's go. And here we are, New Vegas. Now let's go through some things to start from the beginning. So political wise, start with 3 national spirits. Jewel of the Mojave, give me some nice little bonuses to construction, but takes away some population. It's a mixed bag of stuff. We have Treaty of New Vegas, which is part of the law, where the NCR discovered Hoover Dam, they signed a peace deal, blah blah blah. And then Robotics Genius is quite useful if you're going to stay with House. I'm not. Gives you energy, extra energy, more robotics research, and electronics research speed, and lowers your production cost of your security robots. 2 other things to pick up is we start off with free trade. I'm definitely going to change this up. I just haven't decided how much I'm going to go for. This is going to be going towards NCR, so Bay Economy is possible. And then I also have, I'll start off with the Robco robot pre-war manufacturer, which again, more robotics research and electronics research speed, and gives my robots a reliability and breakthrough boost. As for decisions, the unique one we have here is the tourist trade. Both Vegas and Reno consider themselves the greatest tourist destinations of the wasteland. While House may be proud of the lights of Vegas, Reno has been serving California for decades. Through a series of ad campaigns, the 2 cities of Sin will conquer the pockets of the wasteland. So what happens is, twice a year, for every 1,000 tourists each nation gets, we get 10,000 bottle caps. If we are the winner, we get a bonus of 5,000 bottle caps on top of that. And there's a bunch of decisions we can take at the cost of money to either gain and or remove tourists between the 2 countries. I am starting an intelligence agency. It will be the Robco Human Resources. That's the default one that you start off with. Mainly, I'm going to get operatives for suppression, but I also want to get my cryptology department up and running. Start off with 4 research slots, and we do actually start with some nice unlocked. No special forces, no real support equipment. Same for vehicles. Do start off with CNC robots and Mr. Gutsy's straight from the get-go, which is quite nice. 1 land doctrine unlocked for automated warfare. Nothing for fighters. Nothing for naval. A lot of industry already pre-unlocked. And also Ohm's Law. And in total our tech levels are, majority is intermediate. There are some sophisticated ones that can be unlocked as well. And there's also cybernetics if you want to go down that route. I'm going to start off with warrior training to get a boost to my training time. Scrap bicycles for my logistics throughout the game. Work as needed. I want the 2% boost for my accruable population factor, and then combat language, so I can just snap my way through those ones. For construction, I'm doing an equal amount of civilian and military factories, and in Nellis and Jacobstown I'm also giving a boost to the infrastructure. I don't need to do to New Vegas because through focuses I'm going to take this all the way up to 10 anyway before the end of the game. For production, I am going to be doing quite a varied army, but start with 6 factories, 5 on Securitrons and 1 on the CNC scrap bots. They're not part of my template yet, but I will add them to boost the organization. And the templates I start off with is these. So we have 10 with the Securiton a 16 width infantry, standard militia, and also a 10 width support robot with the CNC bots. I will not be using this, and I have started recruiting of my Securitron robots. Then the big one, the focus tree. This is the focus tree that comes with Courier 6 Redux mod. Here is your basically traditional house, and then if you want to go with Benny over here, and then this one in the middle is the Courier 6 part of the tree. There's also some changes on the left here with some of our neighbors. We get some focuses there. This is outward expansion. This little branch is the same as the vanilla with the 3 main families we get to choose. This gives a nice boost to New Vegas in general, and then this is for if we go to war with the Mojave territories, and for also involves some later expansion at the end. We'll get through majority of them as we go down, like I said, the NCR path. But first of all, we have to start off with Judgment Day. In 2065, House predicted that a nuclear exchange between the US and China would take place within the next 15 years, and decided to put all his resources in protecting his home city of Las Vegas. He had his own hotel, the Lucky 38 Casino, fitted with radar jamming systems, missile arrays, and a laser defense network, and life support systems. We can get the event, the Great War. And finally, I do start off with 2 units of the 10 width Securitron template and only 1 unit leader. I have not decided who I'm going to use as my commanding officer. We do pick up some more unit leaders as the game goes on, but that's a decision I'll make in the future. The Great War. There was only ever one constant in Vegas, and it was change. I was almost fully prepared to prevent the apocalypse from touching my desert jewel, but without the platinum chip I couldn't stop every missile. And we have 2 choices. I prioritized protecting the suburbs in the few seconds I had to spare, or my laser defense targeted missiles headed for military industry. So the first one will give us 2 civilian factories in Jacobstown. The second one will give us 3 arms factories in Nellis Air Force Base. I want the arms factory for what I'm going for, and I'm going to use those 3 on getting infantry equipment, and I'm going to start recruiting a unit of the infantry template to boost up my numbers. Next focus is going to be incomplete operating system. Following the valiant defense of New Vegas, House was thrown into a violent coma, and the majority of his data and robots found themselves corrupted and inoperable for the following decades. Silent protectors incapable of movement or thought. When House returned to consciousness, he had choices to make. Did he dare attempt to salvage his more advanced operating system, or did he simply fall back on a stable version? Get the event, unstable system. Unstable system. Without the platinum chip, I couldn't upgrade my Securitrons or my defenses. Numerous power cuts, rampant data corruption, and a coma were the result of my failure. I was faced with a painful choice, reusing an older and very stable version of my pre-war operating system, or attempting to salvage and use an incomplete operating system which was designed to be more capable of addressing wasteland threats. So I could either install the older and stable version. This gives me more organization and research speed, or I took a risk and attempted to salvage parts of an incomplete operating system, which gives me more soft and hard attack, but is negative to my defense, division organization, and research speed. Now, if you have a look at the robot organization, it's at 25. If I had to put CNC robots on it now, it would only take it up to 34.1. That is very low. So no matter how you're playing, I will always suggest going for the older system, plainly for the increase in organization. Then our next focus is going to be the three families. House hopes to rebuild the world, and to do so he has to start by rebuilding his beloved Vegas. He begins with the three great casinos that once rivaled his own Lucky 38, going out to find groups suitable for such establishments. Those who can be easily controlled and bring Vegas the moxie it's going to need in the future. Selecting the pawns. Before the war, Las Vegas was a city of dreams, where fortunes were won and lost in an instant. To recapture that feeling and reap the profits, to draw a crowd from across the wasteland with bright neon lights, I need to reopen the casinos, and they needed families to run them. Vegas shall become the shining jewel of humanity's future. And we are going to get a series of 3 events in quick succession. The first one is going to be reopening Gomorrah in a few days. Next focus will be New Vegas. The process of rebuilding Vegas didn't happen quickly, and between spending money hunting for his precious platinum chip and micromanaging the families of the strip, Haas has found himself more than occupied. Despite this, he did find the time and money to invest in Vegas itself. And we get the event, expansion inwards or outwards. Now I do have my first decision for the tourist trade. Currently both New Vegas and New Reno have less than 1,000 tourists. Now the option to either buy criers, which will give me 1,000, or buy some signs, which will give me 2,000 tourists. I'm going to go for the big one. I'm going to buy some signs. It's going to cost me 60,000 caps. It's time to reopen Gomorrah. My first priority in my quest to rebuild Vegas was to wrest control of the city back from the dregs who squatted in it for centuries. The outskirts could wait. The immediate area surrounding the Lucky 38, the coveted Vegas strip was fiercely contested by 2 tribes. Both Slitherkin and the Great Khans had a focus on drugs, and their shared business made them competitors and enemies. It was clear to me that I would have to choose one group over the other if I desired to unite the rest and claim the city for myself. Excuse me. Initial propositions to both groups came up lukewarm, with the prideful Great Khans rejecting me outright and Slitherkin dubious to my intentions. Then the fiercest fighting between them began, and I saw my opportunity. No doubt the tribe of my choosing would see reason after my Securitrons ejected the other from Vegas permanently. I desired a criminal element within Vegas to grease palms and run my black market smoothly and properly like the Mafia used to before the atom. However, even if I save the Great Khans, I risk splitting them in 2 thanks to the stubborn Papa Khan. As for Slitherkin, while they might have seemed more agreeable than the Great Khans, they were all that much more slippery. Their envious eyes said it all. Ultimately, I made my choice. Now, this choice had a much bigger effect back in the days when the Great Khans used to occupy the North Passage and Bitter Springs over here. But we still have the option between going with the Omertas and reopening the Ultra-Luxe, or getting the False Carnate and also reopening the Ultra-Luxe. The False Carnate does give you a option for a additional advisor here, which gives you more division attack and a big reduction in your warhol justification. But I think for these 3, I'm going to stick with what we saw in Fort New Vegas, and I'm going to go for the Omertas. So, slight increase to my political power gain, decrease to my recruitable population factor, but my consumer goods goes down and my trade tariffs go up. Now, time to reopen the Ultra-Luxe. After dealing with the largest confrontation Vegas has seen in decades, I wielded my newfound influence to great effect. Following my display of power, many disenfranchised groups approached me for support, while others made known their opposition to my actions. For better or worse, I was making a name for myself in the Mojave. Of all the groups that came known to me, 2 piqued my interest at the time: the Fiends and a group of those whose name is better left unsaid. The former of the 2 were vicious raiders, drug addicts, and utter savages. Their leader, Motor Runner, had a kind of criminal intelligence about him, and had reigned supreme in Vegas's ruined southern portions for years. However, despite their reputation for violence, the latter group was just as abhorrent. if not more so. Cannibals. That's what they cannibals. That's what they were. Devourers of the human body, forbidden fruits. They squatted in Vegas's peak of refinement, the Ultra-Luxe, and hid from the Mojave at large. I had a clear choice. Either I beat the cannibalism out of my neighbors, or had the fiends show them how delectable their own innards were. The choice was simple. So, I'm going to go for adding the white gloves, which again takes down my consumer factories, and I get an increase for my trail deal opinion. And I'm going to, the next event will be opening the taps, or let the fiends paint the town red. Massive drop to my stability, but I do get an increase to my attack and defense on core territory, as well as my resistance target. And again, this opens the possibility for another leader of my high command, which will give me a boost to army experience, recruitable population, and recovery rate. But like I said, I think I'm going to stick to the originals, and I'm going to go with the white gloves. And then last but not least, time to reopen the tops. After cleaning up the Ultra-Luxe for better or for worse, I had one final casino to staff, the Tops. In its prime, the Tops was the place for the respectable middle-class working man. It did not offer carnal pleasures like its neighbor Gomorrah, nor were its drinkers as expensive as cigars, like in the Ultra-Luxe. It was a place where the stakes were low, the drinks were hard, and the stage was populated with class acts. My Vegas needed that, a place for common people, and to recreate that feeling of comfort, I'd need a classy crew. Thankfully, Vegas had no shortage of suave individuals looking to shortcut their fellow man. Two groups stuck out for me from amongst the rest, the Boot Riders and the Kings. The former were a tribe of nomads who at first glance had nothing to do with the pompadours and big band. However, an upstart among their ranks, Benny, was looking to shake things up and modernize the group. On the other hand, although rambunctious and rowdy, the Kings were already everything I needed and more. Their stubborn leader might have refused to bow his head once, but perhaps my offer wasn't good enough. It was time to swing to make a comeback. So, despite being a snake, we can get Benny's Isbro and intelligence irresistible, more political power gain, slight decrease in my recruitable population, but my military leader cost is going to go down by 30%. And then the Kings oozed old world style. The choice was simple. Decrease to my political power gain, big decrease to my division training time, which is nice, and gives me extra stability. I will be working with the Kings anyways. If I was playing normal New Vegas, this would be my choice for this one. But sticking with the law and the chairman it shall be. So, expansion inwards or outwards. My New Vegas was slowly coming together despite my early awakening, but decisions remain. I could either focus my attention on creating a rich inner Vegas and a poor free side, or I could attempt to include all of Vegas into my grand vision. So, either inner Vegas was my priority, it was predicted to make the most profit. New Vegas will get 2 building slots and an extra civilian and arms workshop. Or improving outer Vegas would bolster public support, which will add 2 infrastructure in Nellis Air Force Base, Ruby Hill, and Jacobstown. Now, having already boosted my arms workshops, I believe that this is the much better option, as it will give me more resources and allow me to build faster in those areas. So I'm going to go for the infrastructure choice, and then we now come to the split. Now, there are some other choices here that I could take with regards to the families and boosting New Vegas itself, but I want to get settled on the Courier 6 part of this submod and head down towards choosing the NCR path. So I'm not going to stick with House. I'm not going to go with the Joker and start betraying him. I'm going to go for the Courier 6 Redux, which is what you're all here to watch, and go for the Sunnyvale Expedition Centuries ago, the platinum chip was lost in Sunnyvale during the Great War. It cost Mr. House greatly. He has sent many scavenger teams to find it as soon as possible. And I'm going to get the event. Report from the Sunnyvale Expedition in 15 days. So my agency has been created. Now what I'm going to focus on once I have the caps is basically purely going to be the passive defense and anti-partisan, for keeping out enemy spies and lowering resistance in the territories I conquer. And then I'm also going to do a full run of the cryptology department, so I can use basically my technology boost to spy on my enemies without operatives. It's just going to start off with passive defense. It's the only one I can currently afford, but I'll work my way through the rest as I go. So we have a report from the Sunnyvale Expedition. Finally, after all these years, the platinum chip was found in Sunnyvale by Mr. House's hired scavengers. In order for it to reach Vegas without delay, the Mojave Express was contracted immediately to deliver the different packages between multiple couriers, with only one carrying chip. The rest were dummy packages to throw off any wasteland miscreants. A PDQ-88B unit named Victor has been assigned to place the Oreos at the Mojave Express office in Prim to ensure the courier with the chips arrives safely. It's only a matter of time. So we get the domino effect, which gives me extra political power gain per day, and also a justify wartime goal subtraction of 10% for the next 900 days. Next focus is going to carry on down here with Courier 6. After setting up the delivery contract with Mojave Express, the Securitron Victor was assigned by Mr. House to monitor the courier carrying the real package containing the chip. The Securitron senses trouble coming. Guess the event? Ain't that a kick in the head? So combat language is my first research completed. I am going to go for some encryption this time. I don't have any wars in the near future, and this is just going to boost my encryption by 0.5 just to make my enemies know that little bit less about me. Well, ain't that a kick in the head? The courier carrying the platinum chip was ambushed and shot in the head in Goodsprings by a third party, but miraculously he's still alive. Victor dug him out of his own grave that very same night and brought him to Doc Mitchell, where he shortly recovered. An unfortunate setback gives me the courier who cheated death, which gives me another 10% to my division recovery rate. Next one in the chain is They Went That Away. Either by miraculous luck or sheer endurance, Courier 6 was still alive and ready to track down the killers and recover the platinum chip. Which path will the courier take? And we're going to get They Went That Away. Scrap bicycle is completed research. Now that's all I'm going to do on this motorization for now. Now I'm going to jump to my air tech because I intermediate, and I'm going to start working on getting myself some good old fighters and close air support, starting off with Fighter 1. Warrior training is now finished. The next research I'm going to do for this one is the crowd control gear. I do want the enforcers so I can boost the armor of my infantry division, and also I want to use this as my garrison unit, so we're going to take that. Now I have changed up my production ever so slightly. I've taken 2 factories off the Securitrons and put them onto scrap bicycle and the caravan, so I can get my logistics up. Those will probably just run as is for the majority of the game. Now I have my first 100 political power, and what I'm going to use it on is getting the new Vegas clinic. This is one of the unique major businesses that New Vegas gets, and this is going to increase my monthly population by 15%, because some of those focuses earlier has slowly been sucking my manpower dry, and will give me a boost to my medical technology research speed. And if I do build any support equipment, it will be 15% cheaper to make and 5% more reliable. So They Went That Away. While making his way along the Mojave in search of the platinum chip, the courier managed to meet Victor again. The Securitron discovered that the man who stole the chip is a known resident of the Strip in New Vegas. Coincidentally, that's where the platinum chip needs to be delivered. Victor could not make out who exactly committed the crime, be he ensured that Courier 6 is led in the right direction. So we could choose either the Courier unleashed his wrath along the way, which gives me plus a 10% division attack. The Courier breezed through the Mojave like a ghost, gives me 10% more speed to my divisions. Or the Courier utilizes his finesse and cunning to reach Vegas, which will give me 10% more defense. I'm going to go for the attacking option on this one. And then the last focus I'm going to take down this little branch for a while is Ring-a-Ding-Ding. After tracking the Mojave, the Courier manages to learn the location of the killer with the help of Victor. It's time to go to Vegas and find out who was behind it all. And you're going to get the event Ring-a-Ding-Ding. Secret language gave me a boost to my encryption. Now it's time to get a boost to my decryption so I know what my enemies are up to with reference manual. So, Ring-a-Ding-Ding. The Courier arrived in the Strip and confronted the killer in the Tops casino. Revenge was swift and the platinum chip was recovered. Who was this killer and what is his motives? So we can either have the assassin was a Legion Frumentari, which will give me the event Don't Tread on the Bear. The murder was an NCR Rager, which gives me Beware the Wrath of Kaiser. It doesn't matter. They were both responsible for this this hell, which will give me Ace in the Hole. Now what this is linked to is it starts you down which path you want to choose, either going independent, siding with the Legion, or siding with the NCR. I want to side with the NCR, so I'm going to choose the Freedom Tory option, and I'm going to get the event Don't Tread on the Bear. So, Don't Tread on the Bear. And NCR MP relayed the message from Ambassador Crocker of who is desperate need of capable agents to serve the NCR interests. The Courier's exploits has gotten the ambassador's attention and requested a meeting. Agreeing to meet with Crocker, the ambassador details a plan to put the Courier in control of Vegas. To achieve this, the Courier will lead a team of NCR military police to breach the Lucky 38 and eliminate Mr. House. The Legion threatens us all. I will defend Vegas. And this is going to give me 5% bonus attack against the Kaiser's Legion. Now, next focus to choose is not to carry on down Don't Tread on the Bear, as this will get me down the path to join the NCR faction. Instead, I want to take an advantage of a little loophole here and do some work with the Mojave chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel, because I can get power armor technology, which is not currently available to me. That's right, my army is going to be made up of Securitrons, infantry, and power armor. That is the build I'm going for. And to do that right, I need to do this part first. So, side bets. In the areas around New Vegas, there are many different denizens that are of interest. Helping them out or taking over them can only prove useful in strengthening Vegas. So I'm going to get side bets. This is a war support plus 5%, justify a wartime goal minus 10%, and create the faction Vegas Commonwealth. This is why I am doing this first, because as soon as I join the NCR faction, I won't be able to create my own faction, and I need that to do this part of the tree here. The other ones are okay, but this I need to be independent from the NCR just for now. Reference manual is finished. It's time to carry on snaking around and get smoke signals. Side bet is completed, so now I'm going to continue down this line here, starting off with I could make you care. There are rumors of Brotherhood of Steel patrols roaming around the areas of Black Mountain. We've met with a Brotherhood scribe named Veronica, requesting our aid to end her chapter's isolation. Get the event I could make you care. Fighter ones are finished researching, and next I'm going to move on with barrage balloons, so I have that unlocked. Time to get my actual proper fighters, And then I have two decisions I can possibly take now. Either hire criers, which will give me 1,000 tourists, or entice opponents tourists to us, which will gain me 1,000 and Urena will lose 2,000. Now currently I have 2,000 tourists as Urena has 3, so I want to try to take away their advantage by using the entice opponents tourists to us option. And the followers of the apocalypse have arrived. Now, for my focus tree, I do need to let them in. So let them in, let them come. They'll only do good. But I am not going to waste any of my precious resources on them. I'm not going to grant bases as it takes away some resources. That can go away. Not going to spend any political power on them. I'm merely going to escort the followers' caravans. Work as needed is finally done. Now I have lost quite a bit of manpower to both recruiting and losing my recruitable population through the focuses. So I'm going to do some agriculture here to get some extra manpower. Organized agriculture is going to give me 250 manpower straight off the bat, and also increase my monthly population by 15%. Can I make you care? No amount of technological proof could move the Mojave's elder to go against the Brotherhood Codex. Even in the face of slow decay, Veronica was unable to convince the elder to change the Mojave Brotherhood's ways, and was even treated as a traitor. Now she seems indifferent towards her brothers and sisters. While the initial goal failed, this can't be considered a complete waste of time and resources. This endeavor has allowed Vegas the opportunity to have talks with the Brotherhood. And we get Let's Go Veronica, which makes Veronica Santiago, or she becomes a general, and the Mojave chapter joins the Vegas Commonwealth. Now, this would not be possible. Don't worry about that. I'm taking over the faction. This would not be possible if I was really in the faction with the NCR. But now I can actually take the next step, which is still in the dark. The Brotherhood has fallen on hard times. Conflict with the NCR forces is imminent, yet they refuse to let go of the nationalistic ways and cooperate with outside forces. Instead, they ask for help repairing issues with their bunkers so they may stay isolated. Quite ironic, but this may be an opportunity to get on their good side. So I'm going to get 500 units of infantry equipment and 80% research bonuses for infantry technology. So crowd control gear is unlocked. Now before I get those 80% research boosts to my infantry equipment, there's one more research I want to do, and that is scout kit to unlock my light special forces. So I'm going to take that. Then I have another 100 political power, and I am going to choose to take the military theorist. Now I am not going to be taking automated warfare. I'm going to be going a different land doctrine route, but this is the only option I currently can find that will give me daily army experience gain, and I desperately want army experience so I can update the templates of my units. So now barrage balloons are finished. I'm going to now take motorized flight so my planes can actually have engines and not be used one time only. Profits from the tourist season will be available for me in 18 days as well. Still in the Dark is completed. Now I want to carry on here with Eyesight to the Blind. The Brotherhood still wants more, and they are hard to please. Now they want to gain access to the Black Mountain radio facility, which will provide them with increased surveillance. This place is crawling with super mutants. This will be the last favor Vegas will give them. If they don't agree to our terms after this, rooting them out will be an option. And we can get the event Old School Ghoul. Finally, a little bit more manpower. So organized agriculture is done. I'm going to carry on with seed selection. This will give me 500 manpower off the bat and increase my monthly population by another 20%. So the first tourism season results are in. Now, unfortunately, Urena did beat me out, so they get the bonus 5,000 bottle caps, but I do get 30,000 bottle caps, and my tourist population increase will give me a monthly population of plus 0.6% and plus 0.1 development to New Vegas's infrastructure. So, Old School Ghoul. During the mission to take control over the Black Mountain radio facility, a ghoul named Raoul was imprisoned by Tabitha and was freed. He wants to help out. Raoul seems pretty good with both a wrench and a pistol. It must be decided how he could make himself useful. So either a handyman is always useful. This lowers my supply consumption by 15%, increases my entrenchment speed by 20%, and I get +2 entrenchment. Or he could become a general. Now, both these options are pretty damn good. I am interested in using him as a general. Basically, I'm getting all the companions from Fallout New Vegas as my unit leaders. It would be pretty damn great if I can pick up Courier 6 as a commanding officer as well. So you can be safe choosing either which one of these, I think, but I'm going to take him as a general. And then next step is the fourth family. The Mojave Brotherhood has never been on good terms with the people of New Vegas, but an alliance is an alliance. It cannot be denied that Actions of Vegas has earned the cooperation of the Mojave chapter, and I'm going to gain a research slot. And here we go, Eyesight to the Blind. After a successful mission against Tabitha and her Nightkin, the Mojave chapter has gained access to the Black Mountain facility. The Courier has earned their trust and has been granted full access to their bunkers. Those trusts can be short-lived as soon as the threat of the Legion and the NCR is gone. We will welcome them under our flag or use this opportunity to eliminate them once and for all. So we can either get welcome to the Mojave Brotherhood of Steel, so I get 1,000 manpower, and I get Honorary Paladin, which grants me more power armor and gives me more max speed and breakthrough. Or I can initiate the self-destruct sequence, which basically means I annex the Mojave chapter. I gain Unrest in Vegas, which will take minus 15% of my stability and 10% of my war support for the next 300 days. Now, the interesting about this is if I actually annex New Vegas now, Operation Sunburst doesn't happen. And the way I want to play this, where bit of a spoiler here, I'm going to have a chance to annex the Mojave territories, basically makes my game a bit more stable and a bit more predictable. Because if they go to war, I probably will get dragged in as a faction member, which I don't want. And by eliminating the Operation Sunburst, I also take out the possibility that they win this, and I don't know if the Mojave Brotherhood wins this, if I will still be able to annex the Mojave territories as part of the NCR branch of the Courier 6 tree. So this might surprise you, but I'm going to initiate the self-destruct sequence, and boom, I do not get any of their troops or anything else like that. I just gain their territories, and what do we have? I can escort the forest caravans again. Fantastic. And I do get some military factories, which are very much needed. So everything is sorted over here. Let me pop this factory onto my basic energy weaponry. So that's okay. And now I need to pop my chap here down here to fight off some resistance, because this is not a core territory. And as I wanted, the followers have established themselves. Now this has given me some more monthly population and stability at the cost of some war support and political power gain. Unfortunately, my war support is now at an absolute 0, which is not great, but it is what it is. I do have some additional options to take now. I'm going to turn off that there, and now I get to look at the next round of the tourist trade. So 3,000 tourists for me, 6,000 tourists for New Reno. I'm going to go big and go for New Reno anti-advertisement. I will gain 3,000, they will lose 5,000. I hope the money is worth it. And then I still have some money left over to boost up my my anti-partisan, to make my root out resistance mission a bit more successful. So smoke signals is done. Let me carry on doing here, and I'm going to go again with the same, getting some encryption so my enemies know less. Now I was thinking of banking up some political power to change my recruitment law, but seeing that I have 105 days to motorize flight as finished researching, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get up to 150 and then get another 100 for the advisor I want. I've decided to play it safe, and I'm going to get Victoria Flyers just to make my CAS just that much more effective. So even though I have annexed the Mojave Brotherhood, the fourth family still completes. Now I could easily go across and get Don't Tread on the Bear and join the NCR now, but instead I want to finish off these three focuses and leave that for last. So starting off with the Lucky 38 restoration. The Lucky 38 suffered a lot of damage during the war, taxing many of its systems to the limit when attempting to protect Las Vegas from nuclear oblivion. To this day, many of the lights and power systems haven't worked properly, but new efforts by Brotherhood have brought them back online. So Lucky 38 is going to be restored. I'm going to get a 1% reduction in my production cost for my Securitrons, and my capacity for energy cells goes up by 5%, and I'm going to add production of 5 power in New Vegas. I'm taking this over the other option because I want to get this production cost reduction as early as possible to get as many robots out. This will work out well in the long term. And then what to do with this additional research slot I have? Well, because I don't have a reduction because of an advisor, I'm going to use it on my land doctrine, and I'm going to go for refined warfare. Because I have decided to use power armor, rather go all out than anything, and this land doctrine still does give some nice boosts for my entire army. Doesn't matter what kind of unit they actually are. So now that I have access to light special forces, I'm actually going to change things up and not take advantage of these research boosts first. Instead, I'm going to start working on my support equipment. I'm going to go for anti-tank rifle first, as this has the highest production cost, and then I've been contemplating whether I should change my doctrines in one go or do it piecemeal. I have decided that because my production is quite slow right now, I don't want to make a massive change to my templates, so instead I'm going to do it bit by bit, and I'm going to start off by getting the CNC attachment so I can get my organization to 34.1, which is a lot better than 25, and then I'm also going to add on some security robots, which unfortunately will drop it a bit, but if my calculations are correct, I should still be above 30 by the time this template is all finished up and 20 width. So we'll have to see how that goes. Encoded signals is completed, so now let me get some decryption once again. So the Lucky 38 has been restored a little bit. Now it's time to go for New Vegas security. Over the decades, the Mojave chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel has stolen dozens and dozens of Securitrons that they found in the wasteland, deconstructing and repairing them for personal use. As a sign of good faith, a further exchange of such robots should occur. Okay, still a bit weird that they don't exist, but they're giving me the stuff, but I took advantage of the situation, so be it. I'm going to get 2 Securitron units and another 100 units of Securitrons added to my national stockpile, which will help with my recruitment quite nicely. That's level 2 of decode signals finished. Now give me some more research speed with my resistor. So just in the nick of time, as I got the low manpower warning, seed selection completed. That gave me an extra 500 manpower. Now plant cultivation is still the shortest out of the available researches that I want to do. So I'm going to do that for another 500 manpower and another 20% increase to my monthly population. Still one of the most difficult resources to manage in Old World Blues. Then with this 100 political power, what I'm going to do is get Mr. New Vegas, the beloved personality. This is going to increase my recruitable population factor by 5%, give me +5 stability, which will take me over 50, which is great, and also increase my tourism profit by 15%. So, New Vegas security is done. That has given me 2 units of strip security. The template is a 10 width, so I am going to change it up and change it to my security company. As you can see, I don't have enough robots, but I will get those as I need to. Going to pop them on there, let them train, and then second last focus for this episode will be Brotherhood research. The Brotherhood of Steel have seen it worthwhile to share with us the secret of their power armor. New Vegas shall have its own company of knights with snazzy hairdos and all the might in the world, and I'm going to get a whole massive amount of power armor research in 60 days. My anti-tank rifles are finished researching. Now the next most expensive one production cost wise is the squad automatic weapons, so I'm going to get those. Now I am going to be playing a little bit of changing things around when it comes to my production here. I generally don't advise this because you want to get your production the way you want it to and just sit your production efficiency cap is what I'm talking about. But with my limited numbers and what I want, I'm being quite aggressive here. I'm going to change up basic caravan equipment because I have 12 in my stockpile. I'm going to change that to my anti-tank rifle, and that will allow me to use these 2 slots for my to get my demolition equipment and firing platoons when the time comes when the research is unlocked for them. Motorized flight is finished, and I'm glad I went for the Victoria flies when I did to get the research boost and the effectiveness boost on my CAS. I'm going to start researching those. So Brotherhood research has given me access to a massive amount of palm of the technology, all the way up to the top of intermediate, and that is pretty damn awesome. My next focus is now going to finally be joining the NCR, and sorry, let me just get rid of these first. There we are, and don't tread on the bear it is. The Legion threatens us all. Ambassador Crocker's plan to overthrow Mr. House and put the Courier in power must be accepted if democracy is to survive in the new world. So I'm going to leave the Vegas Commonwealth, which I created, and join the NCR. I'm also going to remove the stable operating system that gave me the organization boost. I'm going to lose Robotics Genius, which gave me the research boost and all that boost to my robots. Instead, I'm going to add the Gunrunner's license, which is going to add reliability and lower production cost for my infantry equipment. And I'm going to get the event Operation Mojave Freedom. And it's time to end things off with Operation Mojave Freedom. The Courier assembled a small strike team of NCR military police from the NCR embassy in the Strip and storms the Lucky 38. Half the NCR MPs die in the assault, but the Securitrons are defeated and House's control room breached. The Courier opens Mr. House's containment pod, and the old decrepit man speaks. Why have you done this? Centuries of preparation, so much good, undone. The NCR asked me to get rid of you, so Mr. House dies. The Courier becomes the leader of the People Party, and politics will change, and the people will become the ruling party. I get set out with recruit population goes by 5%, more stability, another big knock to my war support, remove Robotics Genius, and Craig Boone becomes a general for my nation, another companion is now a general. So there we go. That I'm now called Free Vegas. Courier is now in charge, and I am going to end this episode off here. If you haven't already and you would like to continue watching this playthrough, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, all the good stuff. But otherwise, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one, where we will continue this wonderful submod. Goodbye.